This is the Empowerment Through Intuition show.
And look, I got Chris with me tonight. Isn't that cool? She surprised me. I love it. So tonight's Empowerment Through Intuition is working with gifted children and learning a little bit about the different types of gifted children. So I'm going to lower the screen and ready when you guys are to rock and roll. If you are having trouble, can't hear you. Yeah. If you're having trouble hearing us, just throw it in the chat and we'll remember to speak up. Because we're together, we're not using headsets. So we don't have the mics right near us. The mic's kind of across the room slightly. And sometimes we forget to project.
Never. Me?
So let's start off with telling you guys a little bit about what are sensitive kids? How do you identify them? And then we'll talk about how you can help them to keep their sensitivity and move forward. So
a lot of kids, they're being labeled these days as crystal children, indigo, rainbow. What does it all mean? It just is a level of awareness that they're being born with. Indigo started in the 1990s, and they were supposed to be awakening, and they were going to bring us alive and show us like what it was that we were missing. And ritualistic beliefs they were going to have a problem with. You'll be able to notice that they don't really care for restraints, rules, education. You know, people like moms telling them, don't do that. They're like, yeah, we don't think so, Mom. Bye-bye.
So with that, we think everybody's going to think all their kids are gifted simply because of that. And most kids fall into that category. That isn't what distinguishes them from gifted. Can you keep that open for us? We had to shut the air conditioner to be heard, and we're going to die otherwise. Thank you.
So why did God gift us with these indigo children? Basically, their job was to come here and awaken humanity and bring us like some idea about spiritualism and change the path we were on. And exposing the truth and deception is the indigo child's supposedly their idea and their calling. And they choose dysfunctional families to go to. So the crystal children are children of indigos. So the indigos pick dysfunction.
So you don't want them, because if you have one, that means you're dysfunctional. That's just a theory, guys. You can have very gifted children and not be from a dysfunctional family.
So the crystal children, they love
Chris
music.
Chris is giving you the book definition.
They don't like loud music. They came in the 2000s. So indigos, we had them in the 1990s. Then in the young 2000s, we got their parents, the crystals. Here we go, their children. And it's just a lot of different ways of looking at it. Every 20 years, they send out a new wave of children to raise the vibration in that and the way things are happening. Now we've got the rainbow children. The rainbow children are children of the crystal children. And they pick only stable homes to go to. They're natural born healers. They're psychics, mediums. Like they come out of the chute ready to go. And I'm telling you, I work with a couple of these kids. And they're just as gifted as I am. And they're 5 and 6 years old. And their parents are freaking going, are you sure my kids are? I'm like, yeah, we're having these really good conversations. And the kids and I are playing and talking. And they're like, so Miss Chris, how do I get my brain to think like your brain? And la, 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 la. And I'm like, well, we have to go here and we have to do this. And they're going to be hyperactive. They're not going to want to fit into a mold. They're drawn to bright colors. They don't like loud popping sounds. They like music, very soothing. If you had to pick a tarot card, it would be tarot. I would pick Wands or Fire because they're just very passionate and creative little beings, and they want what they want the way they want. And it's almost like they want to parent us. And we're just like, excuse me, sir, you're 5. Go sit down. And I know there's a couple in the audience that might have this experience, and they laugh at me and they're like, oh, okay, Chris, like my kid's crazy. No, he's not. He's just a little bit more gifted than the rest of us. You can also notice them physically by their eyes. They got big eyes, very clear. They'll look you straight in the eye and tell you how it is, and they won't make any apologies for it. And you'll be like, sounds awful firm there, young man.
So I'm going to jump in again and slightly contradict again. You can have a highly gifted kid who does not have big eyes. Okay.
That's some of
these are the very common generalities, very common, and that's why they list them, and that's why you find this information. And just like everything else, there's a rule of thumb, and then there's the, you can not have the opposite. It's just
these gifted children. They come to us because they know we need them. And we do as humanity. If you look back over the last 30 years, we've made a lot of strides with humanity and a lot of changes, not just with human rights activism, but look at how psychics and prayer and all of the spirituality has changed and evolved. In the last 30 years, it's completely changed. When I was a little kid, my grandmother was like, shh, we go to church and then we come home and I'll teach you how to do this. And now it's like I talk to the kids about it, and it's no big deal. They're like, okay, can you show me some of that healing stuff, Mom? My 10-year-old calls it mommy magic. Well, when he was like a little younger, he would say, Mommy, here. And he would take my hand and he'd go, I have a boo-boo, here. And he'd be like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bam, he'd be going, okay, thanks, Mom. I'd be like, sure, thanks. I'm cooking, in the middle of cooking, he does this to me. I'm like, are you sure you're okay? I'm fine. Gotcha, Mom. Thanks very much. So that was unheard of when I was a child. And when I started learning about metaphysics, we had to track down the teachers. They were hidden in the dark, and you had to know who they were. And to get taught something special was like, shh, pass it down the line, but don't tell anybody. We'd have to go to elaborate dinners just to learn a little kernel. I mean, not like the one line, you point and click and bam, you got all this information. And these type of children, they come born into this world with memories of the past and able to really manipulate energy in this present time. So all of you aren't going crazy. And yes, the kids are getting more gifted as we speak. And the parents that I sure hope they know how to pray, because the ones that got these gifted children, they start finding us and they're like, okay, lady, I thought I was really doing okay. And then my 10-year-old told me different. I was like, okay, let's have a little chat. Well, do you have to talk to me or can you just talk to them? I'm like, well, how about I talk to the mommy and the daddy first, and then we'll get to the kids.
And there's you might be asking, like, why are we talking about this? One of the reasons why I wanted to bring this subject up, first of all, it was suggested by a listener. Damn, I don't have her name right up front. So thank you very much. You guys give us ideas. It's great. We keep it inside the community. But a lot of these young kids are really interested in really searching, and they need good, spiritually strong parents to guide them. Otherwise, the satanic cults are growing rapidly, and these kids will get attracted to it because it's very powerful magic, it's very powerful energy, and they are not really being given the structure they need at home, and they're just like normal kids out there playing. So this is all important. That's kind of why we like to talk about it.
Well, and also because you're going to see the kids going to school, and school's coming up, and you're going to start to see these type of children. You're going to have behaviors at home, and you're going to see them get rigid, and they're going to fight the system, and they're going to fight you. And as parents, you need some kind of ideas of how to deal with it, and to deal with it effectively, and not just say, oh, that's just him being him. Well, it might be him being him, but there's other ways to funnel that energy into energy medicine, routines that allow him to bond with nature or her, using stones, crystals, whatever you can use. You can use oils. You got to start teaching them all of the healing methods, all the healing modalities. And don't be afraid to bury them in information because they're like little sponges. And
they're going to enjoy it.
These children, if you tell them, okay, you did your homework and you were good in school today, I'll teach you something tonight. Go on the internet and do some real research and find something new to teach them or talk to them about. Even if you just talk to them, you don't even have to teach them anything.
You can even say, hey, let's learn together because I have no clue. But I keep hearing the Wayne Cook. This is a real common thing that you can do with the children. So I don't know if you can see it. You have your hands together, you cross them, you flip it under. Children do this often anyway. And then you cross your legs at your ankles. And you just take deep breaths, a few deep breaths, like 3 deep breaths. And then afterwards, you can undo it and you put your thumb on your third eye and you can feel the energy rising and settling down. It's like you're pulling yourself in. Now, you can encourage your child to do all of that up to this part. You don't want them doing this in school. The teachers will not understand. But you can get a lot out of just this. And this is not uncommon to see children do. So they encourage them.
Comfort in it.
They do. Encourage them to wrap themselves up when they're just getting a little frustrated with the teacher, a little frustrated with what's going on. They don't have a choice, so find a way to deal with what's going on.
The way I explain Wayne Cook to my children is give yourself a hug. Time to give yourself a hug. And when I say hug, they all know that mommy means do this. And sometimes I'll even find them sleeping like this or sitting there and just rocking, because one of my children has a little spectrum of autism. And when he starts to rock, tells me he's having a real problem and he can't process it through. And I tell him, okay, you did the right thing. You gave yourself a hug. So let's breathe and then work on some breathing exercises with them. Because what you want to do is these children have their spirit so far out of their body that you got to bring it back into the body. And that's why we're talking to you about energy medicine and grounding, and just let them stand in the dirt or in the grass with their feet touching the ground. You know, getting them near water, running water is important, like an ocean or a river, and just let them sweep all the energy away.
And another thing, to help them feel grounded and feel connected, the sooner you do this with young people, the easier. It's a little hard to introduce this to a 12-year-old boy or a 13-year-old boy. A girl, maybe she's more open to certain things. It's hard to say. So the earlier the better. And whether your child is gifted or not, these are good things to do. So any stainless steel spoon, but it has to be stainless steel. It can't be that new metal that you're using with flatware, and it can't be silver. You want stainless steel. You just get the bottom of the spoon and you rub it on the bottom of your feet. Do this for yourself too. It feels so good. It's like a massage. But what's going on is you're pulling the energy down and helping you get grounded. Why is being grounded important? Well, these kids are way out. We get way out. Just as adults, we get, pulled and stuff. So we want to be grounded so our spirituality is anchored and can move forward. So that's a real simple, good technique. I have a real hard trouble arguing for grounding because I'm terrible at it. And I do this every day. Okay, it feels good. I'm enjoying it, but I'm saying to myself, yeah, I'm going to disconnect anyway. I'm a bad influence, sorry.
Well, there's another technique that Donna Eden teaches, and that's the hookup. And you take your one hand and you put it on your belly button and lift gently, and the other one like this, and you just breathe in deeply. And what this does is it allows both sides of your body to talk to each other. And with children that have so much hyperactive energy, I find that's the fastest way, that and the Wayne Cook, to bring them back into center, because they're just like all over the place. My son's like, he's like the wild Tasmanian devil half the time if he doesn't have his meds. I'm like, did you take your medicine? Yeah, I did. And then I find it laying on the counter. I'm like, right next to the water bottle. You did, huh? Or the teacher will call me and go, can you please bring his medicine? Because I can't take it anymore.
Erin made it. Erin, I'm so glad you made it. She was not having a good day today in rehab. So we're glad you joined us and made it on board. And yes, Melissa, she is referring to Liam in some of these conversations.
Hi, Liam.
I have the pleasure of meeting him, and he was such a nice boy, very well-mannered.
He's my little angel. Hi, Ethan. I love Ethan, too.
Alrighty, so you want to grab one of these? Holden. I am, or anyone,
Am I or anyone I'm related to an indigo child? Might have been his mother.
I wouldn't be surprised. We're picking up your mom, and as soon as she said your mom, I remember her energy. Yeah, I would not be surprised if your mom is. Here's the thing, Holden, you don't have to be classified one of these kind of kids to be gifted. I almost think these labels limit us. I'm sorry they started this stuff. Like, oh, it's like they started it so that they could feel special, but they limit you when you get labeled something. So it's actually better that you just be you and move forward with your own intuition.
It's just a way to gauge at what level and whether or not it's for the rest of the world to gauge, not for the parents and the psychics and mediums that are dealing with it every day, because we don't really care. You know, whether they are crystal children, rainbow children, indigo children, it's just another level and another label. Basically, whether you have children that are gifted, there's still 5 things that have to happen.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be born. They have to be baptized. You have to learn, teach them how to pray, protection, and grounding. If you don't have those 5 things, your child's at risk. That's the beginning and end of the story. And I tell every parent that. Why? Because I don't feel like they understand completely that their children could get like energy, because they're so, even though they're gifted, they're innocent. Mm-hmm. And they want to believe everybody's fun. And, oh, look at that. I can see that angel. And sometimes they feel the difference between them. And usually it doesn't happen until they're 10 or 12 before they realize, ooh, that made my tummy hurt. And they'll call me and they'll say, why did my tummy hurt when I saw this person? Or this person came by the house and I got a really bad headache and I wanted to throw up and they wanted to hug me and I didn't want them to. And I'm like, well, then that's your body telling you stay away from that person.
That's their intuitive footprint.
That's their do not enter sign. I said, that's your do not enter sign. Do not allow that person near you. But mommy said I had to be nice. I said, shake their hand. You tell them you're sorry. You're not in the mood. Shake their hand politely. They said, and in your head, you say thank you, but no thank you. You choose not to allow them to hook into your energy.
I like your question, Carolina. How would I know if I am? You're highly intuitive. You work with me and you are very gifted. You have a lot going on. Were you born as, well, you're kind of young, so you wouldn't be an indigo. You'd be what they classify as crystal children. Whether you are or aren't is irrelevant. You are highly skilled. You are highly intuitive. You are highly gifted. You have healing abilities. There's a lot going on for you. So, hey, if you want to say you are, say you are. There's no test for this. There's no, okay, if they are this, this, and this, then they're rainbow. If they're this, this, and this, then they're crystal. There's no real test. These are generalities. And that's what makes them kind of interesting. And it helps us be able to just discuss the subject of how important it is to guide your kids, give them tools, give them things to work with. Please do not give them Ouija boards. We are not talking about tools like that. Those are dangerous.
Jolene can't hear us.
Oh, thank you for telling us, Jolene. We need to keep speaking up because we're together. We don't have our regular headsets on. So I hope that makes sense, Carolina, and for all of you, and Holden, all of you. It's interesting to make these distinctions. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. You know whether your kid's gifted. I have a coach, one of my coaches' kid keeps talking about her grandmother she never met, which is my coach's mom. And she's like, I'm so blown away. She knows what's going, she knows all this stuff about my mom, and there's no reason she should know. And she says, what should I do? I said, well, when you're with your daughter, because her daughter's only like 5, you want it to be comfortable. So you're planning, this day they happen to be planning to bake later on. I said, well, when you go to bake cookies, you say, what's grandmom's favorite recipe? Why don't you ask her, and we'll make cookies in honor of grandma. So you're encouraging them in a safe environment. They're with you. But I also told her, make sure that you're praying with your daughter. You know, you say a prayer that if, you know, whatever spirits are present, they come through the Holy Spirit, through Christ, they come through a good source. So all of that matters. So these are all simple little things we can do to play with kids. So my Ethan has been miserable, almost angry, frustrated lately. Sometimes he gets like this because my dad is trying to communicate with him, and I know he hears him. How can I help him? So why would he get frustrated if your father is trying to talk to him? He just doesn't want to talk to him?
No.
Because he could just tell him, bug off, and not get frustrated. Sorry, I'm pushy to ghost, just like I am with people.
I do think he's hearing some of what your dad's saying, but he gets frustrated because your father's not here. And he still doesn't understand why he's not here. As much as he's trying to suck it up, and he's angry because he's not here to do those daddy things that Grandpa was filling that big void for him. And that's part of, it's a multi-layered problem with Ethan, is what they're telling me, that it's not just one thing. And he's also feeling the constraints of going back to school, because he just, as much as he enjoys school, and I think he's doing better, he'll do better this year, they're telling me, than he did last year. But he's also having a little bit of a social anxiety, they're telling me. So I don't know if it's because of the restrictions, and, you know, he does better, just leave him on his own and let him do his own thing, than he is for a lot of restrictions and feeling like people just don't understand him sometimes.
All right, so real quick, back to our Atlantic City show. We are giving out a ticket again tonight for free. So if you are free on September 22nd, you can make it to Atlantic City, or you just want to play for the fun of it. Chris and I have a color that we agreed upon. We agree? Sure. Okay. And so put in the chat. You have to be inside of the webinar to participate. So please put in the chat the color you are sensing that Chris and I have picked. For everybody who gets the right color, we'll put your names in a hat, and we will pick it before the end of the show, so you know whether or not you got the, no giving anything away by giggling, whether or not you won the ticket. For those of you who don't win the ticket, join us anyway in Atlantic City. We have some really cool women coming from another radio station that does a lot of paranormal talk. They're a blast. They just started their own radio station too.
Did they?
Yeah, and I'll have more information next week about them. It should just be a great day.
Elena will be there with all of her rocks and
crystals. And there's a couple of people who are sponsoring us. I know Braddock's Tavern, and who's the other guy? The other lady?
Downtown Vendors.
Downtown Vendors. Both of them are on Facebook. If you go to them, you actually get a discount. So if you buy your tickets through Braddock's Tavern's Facebook or Downtown Vendors Facebook, you get a discount. You don't get a discount from us. We charge you full out. So just to give you a heads up. Dave, by the way, I thought that was very funny. You're looking in the background. I did see that. Okay, finally, let me join you. Okay.
Yeah, I have 2 colors.
Aaron, you got 2 colors. That doesn't count. And you know, you got 3 colors, Aaron. This is an artist. She's an artist. God forbid an artist should just have 1 color. Nice try.
Pick one, Aaron.
Pick one. And I know you're not going to make it, but hey, Jackie, welcome on. Nice to see you, sweetie. I know you're not going to be able to make it because you had that injury, but it'll be fun. Guys who are guessing over on Facebook, we really need you inside the webinar. I will do my best to scan Facebook and keep up with it. The goal here is to be inside the webinar, and the link is right on the top. But I see Denise has a question and I can grab it, so I'm going to. Denise, my son was born 1 year after we had lost a baby 5 months into pregnancy. I was told he was able to astral project and it would dwindle and then come back. This was when he was 5. He is now 11. I always knew he was gifted, but wondered if this is the right age to teach him how to ground and protect himself. I pray with him, but I want him to protect himself. Oh, honey, the right age to teach your kid about protection and prayer is the day they're born. This is a natural way. You feed them, you teach them. So it's never too young. And 11 years old, a boy, you better get in there now while he still thinks the world revolves around you. Because as soon as he hits that teenage year, one day he's not even going to talk to you. So you got to get that in now. You're running out of time. And astral projection can be very dangerous if you are not properly skilled in identifying the energies that are out there. So it's not something you want to encourage until he's well trained and well grounded and has a couple years of understanding his own energies and learning. Astral projection can be dangerous. It's awesome. We do it.
But we've got lots
of experience.
And we don't go anywhere without guardians and lots of protection and making sure our body is protected, that when we're out there and we're out doing whatever it is that journey is supposed to be, that we don't come back to a horror show in our bodies. We have to make sure our vessel is complete and that everything here is protected. So there's a lot of ways to do it, and children are natural to astral projections. Because they feel it's lighter, it's easier, it's what they remember. But at 10 or 11, he's already gone past the age of innocence. He's going into, I know better. I know I should do better. But God holds him accountable at this point in his life. So you have to protect them. And the only way to do that is that I know that is effective is to teach them to pray and teach them about good energy, bad energy, what's safe, what's not safe, because a lot of these magic shows and these other things are very attractive to kids and they want it to be fun. And I make the healing fun. I make the prayers fun. Make them into a song.
And I'll tell you what, with prayers, you get miracles. We get miracles all the time. I mean, somebody can say, well, that's not really a miracle. Yes, it is. When you pray that a person's cancer goes away and it goes away, it's a miracle.
Within a week.
I don't need the Catholic Church to tell me it's a miracle. And we also get small miracles like, God, I can't believe it. Chris is a few blocks away. She's actually going to do the show. Can you get her a parking spot now? I live in South Philly. Those of you in South Philly, you understand it's a jungle out there. And at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, there is no parking for blocks and blocks. You get Chris a parking spot right out front. It's a miracle. So start showing your child that prayer is answered and acknowledge it. That was God. He answered our prayer. That was God. He answered our prayer. And Jackie, yes, you can basically bring up any questions, sweetheart. We always try to wrap it into the topic, but we are open to everything. Aaron, my son and I swear we keep hearing the other person's voice calling our name. And when we go to that person, they are like, no, but I was just thinking of you.
There you go.
Thoughts are energy. Voice, speaking is an energy. We are vibrating the sound waves that then get to our ear. It's a type of energy. Thought is an energy. So yeah, they're calling you.
I'm going to explain something to you about that one. We were at a family funeral, and a person came in that was visiting for one of the family members. And they met me, and they met my sister, and then they had a really nasty thought. Mind you, there's about 7 family members within about 3 feet, maybe 4 feet. I was having a conversation with somebody else at the time and heard it like it was on a bullhorn. I whipped around, I looked across, and I'm like, excuse me? And my sister, who was on the other side of the funeral home, whipped around and did the same thing. And then another sister turned around and looked, and it was like, who said that? So yes, you can hear people's thoughts. And my partner doesn't quite believe that unless it came verbally out of their mouth that they should be held against them. I said, okay, let's take a family vote. He goes, I'm surrounded by psychics and mediums. That's not fair. I said, we can all hear it just because you can't. Not my problem. Sorry. We count it.
And a lot of times people like, you're a psychic? What am I thinking?
Oh, yeah.
Please.
The world doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. We're not mind readers. It's just your thoughts can be picked up. Your emotions can be picked up. And the kids pick this stuff up. And that it can start to get confusing, especially as they move into adolescence and then noticing other people aren't the same way.
Or when people talk one thing and they think another.
They hear something else. They know they're lying.
Right. Because children are very clear about that. And my kids ask me all the time, Mommy, why did they do that? And I'm like, what do you think they're doing? Mommy, their mouth is saying this, but that's not what they're thinking. I said, and how do you know that? They're saying, because I heard this in my head. And I'm like, I just kind of look at the angels and they're like, yep, you weren't paying attention, but that was right. I'm like, So how you want me to tell the kids this one? And they're like, you might want to explain that not everybody tells the truth. There's shades of gray.
Mm-hmm.
And in our family, we used to call it the hotline. And we never picked up phones because usually our energy used to blow them up. So we just think about each other. And then my mother would be like, I think I'm going to call your sister. And my sister would be like, Mom called me right on target. I told her I needed X, Y, Z. And she called me and I gave her my shopping list. I'm like, well, see how that worked.
The kids do this too. And you really want to help. Actually, you can help when you know your kid is gifted, you can make a game of it. And you can say, okay, you're going out today. 4 different times today, I'm going to call your name. Take a look at your watch. Take a look at your cell phone. See what time it is. Mark it down. Let's see how close we get. And 4 times, you got to call me. You got to call my name real loud. You got to go, Mom. And I'm going to look and I'm going to see what time it is. And we're going to compare notes and see how close we get. That's a fun way of showing them that you can communicate, especially with a sense of urgency or with a real desire of love. You want to bring, when you're trying to teach the kid to make communication like this, you want to make sure there's an emotion with it that is powerful. So love or urgency. Of course, you don't want them doing urgency. You'll be freaking out. What's wrong? Oh my God. So love, send it with love, like Mom. And you call them with that kind of feeling. I'm always
We got somebody.
Crazy. All right, go ahead, read it. Because
it says, my adult son, Matt, was born a year almost the day after my mom passed. He always said as a child he felt a special connection to her, although they never met. I thought it was sweet, but figured it was childish imagination. Long story short, I suspect she sent me rose petals and a rosary through him recently. He gave them to me and said he ran across them in a mysterious way. He felt that he was meant to give them to me for some reason. I wonder why she shows her love through him. Maybe because she
'Cause she
wasn't
can.
always able to do it in life, but they're also telling me that was Saint Teresa too, had a little hand in that. Saint Teresa's there helping out. Your son is very close and dear to her heart for some reason.
Oh, that's nice. Denise, who we answered a few minutes ago, said, thank you so much, Chris and Nora. Absolutely. This is the one with the 5-year-old son who is now 11.
Okay.
Okay. And this is why I look like I'm playing tennis, because some of you guys on Facebook aren't joining us on the show. So I get to do this.
And Aaron says, if one more person asks me for the lotto numbers, I might eat them. Join the crowd. They asked me, why don't you do it? I said, it's unethical. Thank you.
I actually knew I could get the lottery numbers.
We were talking about it one night, and we were told, don't do it.
Don't
you can
do it. And I asked in a deep meditation, why not? Why do you let us know we can do this and then tell us not to? Why not? And they showed me the destruction that would happen in my family if I won. And I was like, holy cow. I said, well, what if I did it? Because I want to like prove to myself that I'm not imagining this. What if I did it, didn't tell anyone, just turned the winning ticket over to some charity? And I heard again, my family will be destroyed because it will be found out. And how could I help somebody else and not help them? And I'm like, you guys really making this difficult, you know, because I want to prove that I can. But I can't.
Some things are better left alone. Yeah. I was told, do not go there on any amount of money. I was like, come on, just let us win like $10.
We do play, but we don't play.
We don't play psychic.
No.
Like when
I'll
it gets
do general picks. Yeah, I just do quick
when it gets
picks.
out there, I put like $2 in for the general. Cornel said to me, so did you play? I'm like, yeah, I put a whole $2 in. He goes, it's like $400 million, and she puts $2 in.
And I did that. There's these long lines back when Philadelphia, Pennsylvania didn't have Powerball. Delaware would have these massive lines. I'd be waiting in line, 700 tickets, 500 tickets. I'm waiting in line. I get up there, I say, one ticket. The guy looked at me, he says, one ticket? I say, honey, if God wants me to win, I only need one ticket. He busted out laughing. He says, quiet. I don't want everybody hearing that. Okay.
That was my theory. If you wanted me to win, I put my $2 in. You know, here you go. I'll play for $2.
All right. My daughter used to talk about the lady that stayed in her bedroom at night. She was 3 to 5 years old, never figured out how it was. This is Becky. Oh, who it was. Excuse me, Becky.
No, how it was.
How? Well, she probably meant who.
Okay.
I'm getting a grandmother, but I don't think Becky's mom's passed.
Mm-mm.
So it's Becky's grandmother. I'm not even sure if Becky's grandmother's passed.
I don't know. It's
I'm not
a grandmother on your mother's line, because it's coming from your mother's side of the family. And she's just there to protect your daughter, because your daughter had a lot of energy and she was very gifted as a child. And they just wanted to make sure she had enough protection.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so Carolina, you guys are sharing with us, and I keep seeing all the instances that I had these experiences as a child. It's a deep wow moment to notice how gifted I was and see how affected all of us is by the reaction felt to them. Haha, so true. To me, this is just proof of how truly uniquely special we are. Oh, Becky says, thank you. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Carolina. And it's true. We really all are. Wow. Oh my God. On mom's. Yes.
Grandma.
So, yeah,
Grandma on mom's side.
Guys, you got a few more minutes before we pick a winner. We're going to take the names who got the right colors. And I'm using plural, could be singular. I'm not giving it away. So if you want to make the show in Atlantic City on September 22nd, what color did Chris and I agree on would be the color that we hold in our mind, an opportunity for you to practice and have some fun. Make sure you put it down. And those of you on Facebook, I am doing my best to keep jumping back and forth. So if you put the right color, I will put it down. Secondly, if you want tickets at a discount, I really shouldn't give it away. I'd rather you just buy them full out because anyway, if you want tickets at a discount, Braddock's Tavern has a Facebook page, and All About Town.
No, downtown vendors.
Downtown vendors. They also have one. And both those sites offer a discount, a very significant discount, so you might want to go through them and not through us. Let's see. Who else?
Halden has a question.
Sure, again.
Halden has a question, and he wrote at the beginning of the show. It said he wants to know if he's an indigo child. I have my answer. What do you have?
I'm getting yes.
That's what I got.
Yeah, I'm getting yes, sweetheart. You are. But with that said, let me see the indigo notes because I don't know this stuff like Chris. Yeah, you got a higher self-worth, huh? This is great. Here's the thing. You have exceedingly high psychic abilities. You need to keep focusing on your prayer and your prayer and your spirituality, because Holden, I get that that's not something you think is important at all. I get that you get it's okay, yeah, that's yeah, don't bother me with that. That I'm not in, yeah, okay, yeah, I heard that. Yeah. With the spirituality end of things. And I'm hoping I'm wrong, but that's what I'm hearing loud and clear. And unless you get yourself more lined up spiritually, you really shouldn't be playing with these games. And I'm not going to answer the other questions because is in reference to your abilities until I know you really are taking it serious.
Let me just say, one of the quickest way to make your abilities grow is by spirituality, by prayer, by being conversant with the other side. And you can't unless you're honest with yourself and you're talking their language, which is prayer and understanding. So you got to start somewhere. Prayers are the beginning and the end. That's what I was always taught. And when I went to talk with other masters and other teachers from other countries, that's what they told us too.
Edgar Casey talks often about if you want to be able to do what he's done, the abilities he had and the gifts, it all came through spirituality. The more you pray, the more you're open to God's will, the more gifted you will be. Does that mean really evil people aren't gifted? No, it does not mean that. They open their spirituality in the opposite direction, and they're getting their energy from a different source. So
that's why intuitive footprints is important. So
very
they
important
can't
to understand.
Pretend to be something they're not.
Yeah, and you really want to make sure you're safe in that respect. There was something else that I wanted to mention. Okay, I have no clue, but hey. Melissa wants to know what kind of child was I.
A pain in the
butt.
butt.
I was just gonna say that. Damn it, you beat me to it. Sorry, you set yourself up. All right,
you walked right into
that one. I'm not picking up anything in particular.
Indigo.
Okay.
I heard it loud, clear.
Okay.
Straight up.
There you go, indigo, sweetie. All right, we are going to pick the winner. We have 3 people who got the color right, And I have no idea why I'm going to put Aaron's name in here. Aaron, Diane McGowan, and Angela Lindboom, Limbnboom. Okay, so I'm gonna just write down your names. I'm gonna put it in a little thing, and Chris is gonna pick it out, and then Aaron, if you win, I'm just gonna pick another person's name. Unless, you know what, I'll give you that option because you might want to give it to somebody. So we'll let that be. All right, here we go. Don't look. We're gonna close them all up. Da, 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 da. By the way, the color was blue. The color was blue. All righty.
She's shaking them.
I'm shaking them. Okay, Chris. Wait a minute. I just
now she threw them on the floor. She thinks it's popcorn over here like the lottery.
That's what I want to talk to you guys about. Chris and I teach people about intuition. We literally take them on under our own wings. The reason is a lot of people want to understand their intuition and understand their psychic abilities for different reasons. Some of them want it for business reasons, which Chris and I do that. We'll help you make the right decisions, help you understand after you're looking at all the facts, how to move forward, what decisions to make. But we also help children. So just keep that in mind. If you ever really get stuck, you're welcome to hire one of us or even shoot us a question. We're quick to answer. We don't charge you for quick questions. If you really need to know something, you're struggling with your kid.
Especially if you're in our community.
Yeah, if you're part of this group, this Facebook Live stuff, this going on the webinar, you're part of the Empowerment Through Intuition guys. I mean, to us, you're a community, you're our friends, and we're happy to help. But if it goes outside of that, might have to charge them. All right, Chris, pick a winner. Just so you all know, there's writing on the back of these things too. It's not like she could see the name. Turn it over to the other side.
That's my handwriting.
Diane! Woo, 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 woo. Okay, so Diane McGowan, you deserve it, girlfriend. You get up at 6 o'clock in the morning with me, or before 6, to be with me 6 a.m. every day for our meditations. And I love that you join me faithfully. So thank you. Is that why you wore a blue shirt today, Chris?
No, I had an
it just happened to
event.
be. Aaron, if I win, I was meant to come. Okay, how do you know if you are psychic or have any kind of those abilities?
You would know.
Yeah.
You get feelings.
You just
get like a little push. Do you have dreams?
Do you notice that you just kind of know stuff and you don't know how you knew that? Or you know stuff other people don't know, but you can logically explain how you know it? Well, it was just kind of how they look. Well, you saw that look in there, right? You saw that movement they made. Yeah, honey, you're intuitive.
You're picking up their energy.
You're welcome, Diane. I like what Aaron put. Woohoo! All right, my ringtone for Shauna is Ghostbusters. So for those of you who might be new to the community, Shauna is one of those in our community who's really helpful. We'll help you out, pray with you, help clear things out. You guys are awesome the way you support each other. I absolutely love it. And Casey, yes, a lot of time, but I just shrug it off. Once I found my faith again, it got stronger.
Ding, ding, ding,
right?
ding,
Just
ding,
exactly
ding,
what
ding,
we
ding.
were saying. So thank you for that confirmation. Yeah, faith is amazing, amazing, amazing way to build your intuition. So any other questions about the children? And Jackie, I did say you can throw up something else if you wanted to, sweetie. I don't know if you heard me. The baby probably got her attention now.
She got distracted.
Yeah, so Chris and I would love to see you at the Atlantic City show. It is at the Atlantic City Aquarium, an absolutely beautiful location. The conference room that we're going to be in is 3 sides surrounded by water.
Bye, Aaron.
Windows.
Her nurse is tapping.
Oh.
Her thermometer.
Please send prayers out for Aaron for quick healing. Poor girl had a bad fall and is now in-house rehab. Ouch. Let's see what's going on Facebook. Jessica, oh my God, girlfriend, I haven't heard from you in so long. Jessica was one of my clients before we even started this show. She just had a little baby not too long ago.
Congratulations.
Finally calm enough with Cora to pop in. So nice to see you. This is my friend I was telling you about that you can help, hopefully. Well, she's welcome to contact me through intuition.com, or if she checks out Chris's site and needs some help through Chris, she's welcome to do that. ChristineGorganis.com. You never pick me, Dave. Well, Dave, you got to put the right colors, sweetheart, if you want me to pick you now. Now, Dave. Caller.
We can't just pick our favorites because you're our favorite, dear.
Okay, caller wants to know if Zachary or Dalen, is that how you would say the name? D-Y-A. Dylan. I'm so bad with enunciating names. Are they gifted? Zachary is strong.
Dylan is, but he ignores it.
Yeah.
Puts his head in the sand, ignores that crap.
Yeah, and that's okay, because guess what? So did I for a long time.
They'll get to them. Those that are meant to open up, God usually has a way of getting to them and saying, "Hi, how you doing? You gonna listen yet?"
Jessica, just when the show's over, share the show to your friend. A lot of times in this community, guys, the only way we grow is you sharing us.
Share.
Share us, like us. If you don't want to share us on your Facebook stream because you don't want people to know what you're into, send it to those friends privately through Messenger that you know. It's all good, whatever happens. All right, any more questions before we wrap up the evening?
Donna put something in there.
Yes, I have 2 nephews that are gay. I think it's the way they are raised. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. I don't know if we missed something that came prior, but okay. That has nothing to do with being intuitive. You can be gay and intuitive. And you could be not gay and intuitive. It's irrelevant. I have sensitive children, but my middle, whom is 6, is very strong, and my oldest, whom is to himself and very sensitive emotionally. I was wondering if either had any abilities. The older one has a lot.
That's why he keeps to himself.
And he's very sensitive.
He's afraid of what he's hearing.
And feeling.
He doesn't, he's an empath. He doesn't know what to do with it all. He needs to get some exercises, and he needs a little counseling and a little spiritual help. The younger one, I get a lot of bouncy energy, and he is gifted, but he just takes it in stride. I get la 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 la. Hold on, we got something in the Q&A. My uncle Gianni, and really use some prayers.
Can really use some prayers.
Okay. I am extremely worried for him. I guess my question will he take the help from our family to get well and recover from his addiction? He doesn't think it's a problem.
Yeah, he's not, sweetheart. He's not
ready.
Take the help. And so anyway, that's a request for prayers too, guys. So it's Jacqueline's Uncle Gianni. So please put that family on your prayer list so that they can also cope with the decisions that Uncle Gianni makes, which might not be what the rest of the family wants. But right now, Jackie, honey, I'm sorry, he's not moving in the direction of giving it up and healing.
Casey wrote you. Now, my cat seems to show my oldest more emotional help, a lot more. And y'all are very spot on about them. It's insane.
Thank you, sweetie. Animals are amazing. Animals really help you. They'll help you emotionally. They'll help you psychically. They'll help you spiritually. Animals are truly such gifts from God to, house pets are the best thing in the world. If you got a cat or a dog, or even a bird, it's amazing.
Well, my dog, he's not really a dog. I swear he's human. He answers and listens better than the children do. And I ask him, can you please go to your pillow? And when he doesn't feel like it, he just looks at me and goes, and doesn't move. My partner says, listen, can you move down? And he goes, and he gets up and tinkers down to his pillow. I'm like, for the love of Jesus. Like, I asked him and he didn't want to move. He goes, you have to ask him the right way. I'm like,
So
get him a treat.
It's awesome that the cat's there to give him the emotional help and the support that he needs. You might want to start to find ways to talk to him. It will be important to start opening those doors now before he really gets much older and those doors get a lot tighter. Because mostly teenage boys, when that door closes,
it locks.
And it does not even begin to crack open until 24, 25. It starts to crack open. I mean, there's exceptions to every rule. I got it. But this is the norm. And then after that, they're there, but they're not there.
Right.
They're with their significant other.
They're being guided by another hand, is what she's saying.
Yeah. So
and sometimes that might have sexual overtones, and boys will be boys.
And it's just normal. I mean, and they say you get married, you cleave to your wife. You're not supposed to be coming home to mama. So enjoy them while they're young. Make it as the male children, the girls, God bless you, you're always around. And you'll have more opportunities to work with your daughters, but that doesn't mean you should neglect them. You jump right in there and you start working with them too. But the boys, you have less time as a mom to be working with them. A dad would have more time. The doors don't close on a dad the way they do on a mom.
Right.
So he goes to a therapist and he bonds with the lady at the church. I may ask her to talk to him. And he has an emotional service dog named Bullet.
Bullet?
So Bullet, that sounds very emotionally secure. So I believe in the Second Amendment. I think it's great. God bless you.
Have a little impression, does he?
All right, guys, we have less than 3 minutes. So once again, Chris and I are available to everybody in the community. If you have any questions about your children that you did not want to bring up publicly, you can drop us an email or send us something on Messenger. We do counseling. We do coaching kids as well as adults. So check out our websites, intuition.com and christinegaganis.com, to learn more about what we do. And we'll see you next week.
See, her Bullet's more like a person than an animal. I'm telling you.
What does it say?
She says her Bullet is the sweetest. He's more human than animal. I'm telling you.
I know. I love
Yes,
it.
Dave. I'll be at the Arden Fair on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody who wants to stop by and see us.
Arden Fair is a beautiful place up in Delaware. Anybody up in that area, you get to see Chris live. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on the webinar and on Facebook. You guys have a great night. And I'll see Diane and a few of you others 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Otherwise, both of us will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.